Hey y'all, so in this video, you guys are going to get to see me do a practice technical interview with one of the students in my coding bootcamp. Now, we are going to be doing a mock phone screen, right? A phone screen is the first round or the first part of the technical interview process if you are trying to pivot into tech, or if you're trying to become a software engineer, or really just any role in tech. A phone screen is the first thing that you do with a recruiter. And the main takeaway that I want you to have from this interview that I do with this student is that every question that you're asked on the interview is an opportunity to sell yourself. Even questions like, what's your greatest weakness? That's an opportunity to sell yourself. You don't want to mess up on the phone screen, and really this should be like the easiest interview that you do. All right, so make sure that you watch this video all the way to the end, because that's when I give a lot of my feedback on ways that the student could have improved in terms of how they answer certain questions. So that's going to be very insightful for you, especially when it comes to helping you prepare for interviews in tech. All right, let's go. Hey, so my name is TJ, and I'm a recruiter for Roots Technology, and we are a software consultancy made up of about 10 people right now, and we're looking to bring on an entry-level engineer on our team. So I'm just going to be asking you some very general questions about your background, and also leave you some time at the end to ask me any questions about the role that you might have. Is that cool?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, awesome. So can you tell me a bit about yourself?
So basically, I got into software. I got introduced to it from my last job. They had some code that we would see every once in a while. So I decided to try to branch out and have an opportunity to grow. And I looked into coding. I found a coding boot camp online that was project based, and I've given it a try, and it's been a good experience for me.
All right. All right. Do you have any experience with React.js?
I do have experience. I've got it actually through the program that I'm talking about. There were multiple projects that I was able to learn React skills and then apply them to the projects.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to write them down.
No problem at all.
All right. And what are you looking for in your next role?
Oh, so in the next role, I'm looking for an opportunity to be able to use these React skills and to be able to, I guess, work with a team of engineers that I can kind of bounce ideas off of and grow with, grow from those who are, I guess, more seasoned, more experienced.
And then do you have any experience working remotely?
I do not have any experience working remotely, but with this course that I have done, I have learned learned remotely. I have not been able to go into a class. So as far as learning remotely, I have with this software boot camp, but not in the work role.
All right. And are you willing to relocate for this job if it calls for like a hybrid or an office setup?
Yeah, I mean, that definitely is not off the table. That wasn't something that I had actually initially wanted to do, but yeah, that's not something that is off the table at all.
Okay. And if you were offered this job, when would you be able to start?
Oh, I would be able to start as soon as possible
Okay.
to roll right into it.
Are you not working right now?
No, currently I'm not working,
Okay.
so I'm able to focus solely on just refining the skills.
All right. And are you authorized to work in the US?
I am. I am.
Okay. And okay. Well, you know what? Let me just stop it there. Like, I have a bunch of feedback already.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of from that. So something that you have to keep in mind, the whole point of the interview process is for you
Mhm.
to like your goal is to sell yourself with each answer.
Okay.
Each question and answer that you give is an opportunity for you to sell yourself. All right. So
Can I stop you for 1 second? Ask a question. Do you
yeah,
mind?
sure.
Is this so? What is it? Is it? Should I be answering these questions similar to the acronym STAR? Was that what it was? STAR? You know what I'm talking about? The oh man, I might be
Um,
saying it
no,
incorrectly.
I get situation, task, action, result.
Right.
Oh yeah. These aren't
Not like they're not that, but it should it be because with those questions, it looked like when I was looking them up, you want to kind of present your even when they ask you something negative, you want to kind of turn it around to a positive. So with these, are you saying with this technical screen, I should be doing something similar to that with these questions that you're asking?
Well, here, let me just give you like the feedback, and I think
Sure,
that you'll be
sorry.
able to
Sure.
answer that. So,
Okay.
the first question that I asked you, I was like, "Hey, can you tell me a bit about yourself?"
Okay.
Right, and the main notes I was got was, last job, coding trial, good experience. Right, I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, can you tell me a bit about yourself?" So, this is an opportunity for you to basically quickly touch on how you started teaching yourself how to code. You get what I'm saying? Like you should be selling yourself, right?
Okay.
Because here,
Okay.
like let's say, so anytime somebody asks me this, can you tell me a bit about yourself? Back when I started, I was like, yeah, I used to work as a business analyst, and it was actually in this job that I got interested in learning to code, and I started teaching myself how to code. And
Okay.
since then, I've been working on this and this technology, and I build a lot.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So, do you see how I'm using that to sell myself now?
Right. Right. I got you.
Because
I got
you didn't really say
okay.
anything about React. You didn't say anything about JavaScript or any technology that you touched on. You just, oh,
Okay.
at my last, I kind of saw some code. Started doing a trial with. You get what I'm saying?
I do. I do. I get it.
And then I asked you specifically about React, because the next question was, do you have any experience with React JS? You said, yeah, I've done multiple projects where I learned React skills and applied them to the projects. You didn't say nothing about APIs. You didn't say nothing about CRUD. You didn't say
Okay.
you get what
I
I'm
see.
saying? You like give
I
a
see.
very super high level like answer, and I'm like, bro, like this is an opportunity for you to really sell yourself on this stuff because
Okay.
to like show me that you actually know about React because it kind of didn't sound like you actually knew much about React. You just said,
Wow.
oh yeah, I've done multiple projects where I learned React skills and I applied those skills to React. I mean to the projects.
Yeah.
Multiple projects, you learn React skills and apply them to projects.
Yeah. What skills?
Yeah, you know what
I
I'm
got you.
saying? I was
I
writing
got you.
that down. I
Okay.
was like, no, I should stop this now. I was like, but yeah, man. I mean, so those two questions are kind of really the biggest questions where you should really be doing the most selling. Tell me about yourself. It's gonna be the very first question that you get asked in all these interviews, in the actual phone screen, and even in the actual technical screen that's going to be the first question that you get asked. So this will really be a cool opportunity for you to quickly like touch on how you used to work with. Then you got interested in learning to code, and since then you have been teaching yourself how to code and build front end web applications. You see terms, right? You start using terms that relate to the actual job posting. You've been
Got you.
learning JavaScript, working with algorithms, building JavaScript applications that integrate with APIs, building React.js applications using Redux, CRUD applications, integrating with the Spotify API, doing authenticate, like that. Those are the notes that I should be writing down,
Right. I got you.
right? Because it's like if I interview you on your phone screen and all I have is, coding trial, good experience, multiple projects where I learned React skills and apply them to the projects. And then I interview someone else and they're talking about APIs and you read, like,
Right. There's no
so
contest
just
there.
keep in mind, like, just doing an interview is not enough, because a lot of people, like bootcamp grads, they talk about, oh, I've done 30 interviews, but I didn't get a job. I want to ask them, well, what are you saying in these interviews? Because a lot
Yeah.
of people would do an interview, but they don't realize they're just like talking without really saying anything of value. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because nothing you, I'm not trying to be hard on you, but
No, give it to me.
nothing you said so far
Yeah.
makes me want to move forward.
Right.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, I do.
So it's just like keep that in mind. Every question is an opportunity to sell yourself. And even trying to think. Yeah, so here. So I think the next question was what are you looking for in your next job? So you were like, oh, I want to use the my React skills and just work on a team of more seasoned engineers, which is cool. But a better way to like frame that, especially if you have the actual job posting, if
Hmm.
you have actual job posting and like what the company does and etc., you can like talk about how you want to get more experience working with a particular technology
Hmm.
that company is using, that they're working on. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I get you. I get it.
So like every opportunity, remember it. Like,
You want to tailor it to the specific job that's you're looking
yeah.
at.
But keep in
Okay.
mind, life is sales. A lot of people are, oh, I don't like sales. But I'm like, everything you do is sales. Even for you to have friends, you're selling yourself somehow, some way. Like if you're married, right, with the spouse, and you have to sell yourself. You don't just show
Yeah.
up and people,
Yeah.
like life is sales. So all right, so this one is big. The question I was like, do you have any experience working remotely? He was like, no, but with this course, I learned remotely with Bootcamp, but I haven't worked professionally yet. So remember, you always want to craft your responses in like a way that really highlights the positive aspect. So you don't have professional experience working remotely, but you've been working with me remotely. A way you can frame that is you've been pair programming remotely.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because that's
Right.
what
Yeah.
we've been doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're working remotely as an engineer, it makes sense for you to talk about that because this person knows how to work with other engineers remotely. So you telling me, oh, I've done a course remotely doesn't sound as good and as strong as you talking about how you spent a lot of time pair programming remotely, working on projects together with an engineer. Like that's what you should be talking about.
Yeah. I want to value this.
Yeah, and just kind of like because basically like since this is a level role, there's like you definitely want to make a strong case as to why it would be okay for you to even be remote as well. And the way that you can do that is to talk about the way that you work remotely. Talk about how you basically work remotely through email and video calls. And I'm sure you can kind of explain the video part of it with pair programming. But when it comes to the email aspect, you can always talk about how you provide lots of documentation, code samples, and screenshots and you use GitHub to actually reference code, etc. Because when you start working as an engineer, let's say me and you are working together and we work remotely and you need help, the way that you're going to be reaching out to me is by sending me screenshots, by
Yeah.
sending me like the actual GitHub links to, oh, this line number. I need, and explaining stuff through email. So if you're able to communicate that in the interview process, that you have experience with that,
Okay.
that's how you should answer that question, right? Do you have any experience working remotely? You should talk about the things that you have done that make a strong case for that, even though you don't have any professional experience, right?
Hmm.
Because even if you do have professional experience, that experience is not going to be any different from what you and me have been doing.
Okay. Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
in terms of
exactly.
the actual action, right?
Right.
Like the professional experience, I'm an engineer, you're on my team, you need help, we're going to do a screen share and pair program. Or you need help, you're going to email me and send me screenshots and tell me what you need help with and tell me what you've tried and send me, code snippets. It's the same thing. So definitely, I mean, honestly, like, yeah, I'm sure that you see. Okay, the note I made on here that I forgot to say was, basically use this, the do you have experience working remotely question? Use that as an opportunity to talk about how you effectively communicate remotely and that you have experience doing that by pair programming, by using email with screenshots and GitHub and code snippets, etc. When I was like, "Are you willing to relocate for this role?" You're like, "It's not off the table. It's actually not something that I've thought about yet." I was like, "Hey, do you want this job or not?" Oh man, the answer should be yes. I am willing to relocate for this role. Not It's not off. I was like, Jeff, you got me writing this stuff down. Man. Come on, bro. Oh, all right. I mean, I'm sure that you understand why you should answer that differently, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you remember the goal is to get the job offer first, and then you can make these decisions.
Okay.
Because also, even if you don't really think that you'll relocate or something, you at least getting experience going through, like, you don't want to cut the interview short here
Right.
at the first round. You don't want to do that. The goal is to keep progressing forward and to get as far as you can, because even if you don't ultimately get the job offer, you still get the experience of going through the interview process, and you build your confidence. You now know what to expect. But
Yeah.
even if you do get the offer, you and your spouse, you now have questions to actually think about, right? Because this is a potentially life-changing opportunity at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But also, even if you two decide not to take it, you still have a job offer in hand. So, when it now comes to other interviews, because a lot of times a question that people ask is, oh, how deep are you in your interview process? Are you interviewing with any other companies at the moment? You could be like,
Mhm.
yes, actually, I just received an offer from another company. You don't have to say the company's name. Yeah, it's actually better not to say the company's name. You can tell them that you already have an offer that you're considering, and you can ask them, well, is it possible to expedite, to speed up this interview process so that I
Mm.
can make my decision a lot sooner?
Okay.
You get what
Okay.
I'm saying? So you can still
Yeah.
use the offer to help you move forward in another interview process.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Now I was like, oh, if you were offered this job, when would you be able to start? You're like, start as soon as possible. That's cool. And now I was like, are you authorized to work in the U.S.? You can just typically say, yes, I'm a U.S. citizen,
Okay.
because that's the work authorization. Those are like the main notes that I had. I kind of only had like one or two other questions, but I'm sure that you can see why I stopped it. To give
Yeah.
like the feedback. But yeah, did this feedback kind of help and put things into
No, it did. It
perspective
did.
as to how you should be preparing?
Yeah. It's very different than than a typical job interview initial screen. So yeah, definitely is very valuable. I feel like how I should be going into them.
Okay, good. All right, man. Prep again, and we'll come back and do this. Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Appreciate
man.
it, man.
Good job, bro. Later.
Thank you. Later.